Sun, Pisces rising. This is your August forecast for 2015. And I've got a kind of a, ooh, this month is almost magical when I even just slightly touch on it. I know as soon as I start talking about it, it's just going to fill me up on the inside, and I am just going to feel everything so deeply because there's so much beautiful energy in August. I'm doing things a little different because I pour so much time and energy into my dailies. I have decided to shorten my monthlies. Now, I am going to touch on all the primary energies that shift, all of the primary energies that are in the month, and where all of those primary energies are at in your chart. I also will touch on big days in the month that, you definitely have to talk about. But as far as individual days and the struggles that you're going to have for those individual days, I am going to leave that up to my dailies. I am going to, at the very end of this forecast, let you guys know where the energy is in what houses, so that if, let's say, I say, the sun is squaring off with Saturn today in my daily. Your sun is in your 6th house and Saturn is in your 9th house. So you'll understand the energies at play and what houses they're going to affect during that day, those transits or those aspects. So let's get started because we have a really big month to talk about. First of all, on the 1st, Saturn is going to go direct. Now, as you know, Saturn has been in retrograde. It was in retrograde in Sagittarius, and now it's in retrograde in July, it was in retrograde in Scorpio. So it brought back last month in July a lot of old feelings about, or old karmic issues about what happened in the years between 2012 and 2014. If you had old karmic debt that you needed to pay for, or if you had old karmic issues that you needed to discuss or talk about or resolve, you revisited some of those in July. Now, understand that Saturn is a teacher, and it will bring karmic relationships and it will bring us karmic lessons for us to try to learn from it. And it does it for so long, and it tries to kind of do it the roundabout way, and then it decides to have a more direct approach if you are not understanding and interpreting what it's saying all that well. So now when Saturn moves direct, it is going to be in your 9th house. And for you, this is going to be in your hopes, your dreams, and your wishes. So you probably made a really big decision last month. And it has to do with your overall picture of your life. If Saturn doesn't think that your goals are realistic, and I think that most of them will be because Neptune, your ruler, is still in retrograde, which means it's the rose-colored glasses are off. You're not idealistic about your goals anymore. You are realistic about what it's going to take to move you forward. So that's when Saturn's going to come in and have this direct approach in your life. Now, if everything is going well, Saturn is going to come in and be incredibly benefic. It's going to remove all the obstacles, and energy will just flow harmoniously, and you will see a lot of these hopes, dreams, and wishes manifest in a forward motion. If you still didn't learn through all of this past work that you've been doing, this is when Saturn's going to have a direct approach, and it's going to stop you and make you learn, and it's going to elevate your thinking it's going to force you to learn it. And that energy is going to be at play powerfully this month. We also have Mars going into Leo, and I have a PhD in this energy because my Mars is in Leo. So Mars was in Cancer last month, which is a debilitated energy, and anytime you have a very big, powerful energy in its detriment, then it sinks to some of the lower vibrations of Mars-based energy. And so we saw a lot of passive-aggressive energy. We maybe, wanted to say some things that we didn't, that we felt passionately that we should, but we just decided to just not say anything at all. It's probably best. We internalized a lot of our pain instead of made people accountable for some of the pain that they caused us. And so, and we retreated and hid from a lot of that, hid in ourselves, regressed in, chose some poor coping methods to deal with this energy, because again, Mars is the planet of passion and it was debilitated. So we didn't have that energy making us persevere like we normally are used to in this fire-based energy. Thankfully, I am happy to say that as of the 8th, Mars is going to move into Leo. And so it's back in its fire energy. It's making you feel all fired up. It's going to make you aggressive if you need to. It's going to make you assertive if you need to. It's going to make you persevere. It is going to bring passion back into your life. Sexuality is going to be ignited. You're going to have a need for a physical bond. And it's going to be sexually motivated for some of you. For some of you, it's going to make you very, very passionate about some of your creative endeavors, enough to push forward and strive for them. And art is going to take off for you if you're an artist. If you need to work with your hands, you're going to feel like the need to get back to some of those basic passionate desires that you have. You're going to feel that kind of energy with this glorious new forward movement. Now, on the 11th, Jupiter is going to go into Virgo. And for you, this is going to be in your 7th house of others. So this is going to be in partnering. So this is a very important energy to talk about for Pisces. When Jupiter is in Virgo, Jupiter is only going to expand if you consider others. Now, for most of the Pisces that I know, they're such a sensitive energy and they are incredibly selfless. So for many of you, you have this desire, this strong desire for attention, but you've got to make sure that the attention that you're seeking will benefit all. Understand that if you have Jupiter in your 7th house, it's going to expand your relationships with others. If you are attracting people that are dysfunctional, then 9 times out of 10, you're dysfunctional. If you are attracting others that need a lot of attention or are codependent in some way, then guess what? You're codependent. Others show us where we fall. Others show us where our deficiencies lie. So where you rise is your rising sign, right? It's your 1st house. Where you fall is your 7th. That is the house of others. And so some of us fall on our butts. Some of us fall in love in those areas. Some of us, fall for anything. And so if we are who we attract, if all we're doing is attracting dysfunction or needy people, then in some way we're dysfunctional and we're needy. And so you really got to look at the partnerships that you have in your life and see if they are truly, truly beneficial for the long haul. Because some of you are going to get married very soon. Some of you are going to partner, and these are going to be lifelong bonds. Some of you are going to move in together and create a union that is going to be for the long haul. So it is very important that you choose a partner that is going to be beneficial for you. Now, with Jupiter, the energy is in Virgo. It's in debilitation. So you want to look at others. If things that you are doing are benefiting you but not benefiting others, Jupiter will not expand opportunity. It will expand that weakness in that area and create all kinds of havoc in that relationship. It will, so if you are a weak person, it's going to expand your weakness. If you are a strong, confident person, restored, it's going to expand and that area and restore it to the fullest health that it can, to the point where it is actually beneficial. So it's very important for you to always think about, if whatever you're doing, in the back of your head, consider, how is this going to affect who I love? How is this going to affect my partnerships? How is this going to affect my forward long-term longevity? Here's the other clincher. For many Pisces that I know, they have extreme addiction issues or codependency issues, or they're just plain workaholics. There's an imbalance in their life in some way. And for many of you, you are going to get a reality check in your health. So if you have a tendency to be a codependent, it's going to expand the need for you to be codependent to the point to where you've got to face it. If you are addicted and you have poor coping skills, it is going to expand problems with others and force you to see that you have these poor coping skills and that you need to manifest a better plan for coping. If you have, if you decide that you put on a lot of weight because, you're in that honeymoon phase and you need to take off some pounds and get back to the basics. You know what? Jupiter's going to go in and expand that in a beneficial way. And it's going to say, okay, he wants to set up routines. He wants to, get back to being mentally, and physically healthy. And it's going to expand opportunities and create an opening in your schedule to be able to have, the ability to embark on healthy routine. Virgo is all about routines, so it's the routines you have. So if you have a routine of drinking every night until you go to bed, it's going to expand and it's going to make you just flat drunk, like you're just going to do it every single night until you just pass out. And that could really cause the tension in your relationship. So this month is going to be pretty revealing. Then on the 14th, we are going to have a beautiful and harmonious new moon. Now, we haven't had a harmonious new moon in, I can't even tell you how long. It has been so many months that I have to say, okay, guys, I know this is a new beginning, and I know that we're, that this moon is, afflicted, but here's how we can pull good energy out of an afflicted new moon. We don't have that this month. We have a delightful new moon. So anything you want, any routine that you want to create, any work goal that you want to manifest, any physical or mental well-being program that you want to set up with yourself, this is the time to set forth some goals. You have fertile ground. It's moist. It's just the right temperature to germinate a seed, to make that seed flourish. So please, if you really want to set forth some serious health routines, get you back on the right track, then I suggest that you really start to set some fitness goals for yourself and some mental well-being goals for yourself. You also want to think about how you can serve the others in your life. This is a great time to think about, prioritizing others. And that includes people that you work with, or includes, if you don't have a significant other, but it could also include just the general people in your life that you have daily, that really serve you. It's time to serve them back. Then on the 29th, we have a glorious full moon. It is just delightful to talk about this full moon. This is your full moon, Pisces. This is in your first house. So this is going to make you extremely attractive. It's going to make you charismatic. It's going to make you magical. Like anybody that you're around, you're just flat. You entrance them. Pisces have always had this amazing ability to draw people to them because they just have all of the energies flowing through them from all of the signs. And so you can appeal to just about anybody. You can make anybody fall hook, line, and sinker for you. You're going to be extra sparkly on this full moon. Now, on the 29th of this full moon, Neptune is going to be having a glorious, harmonious conversation with this full moon. Neptune, which is your ruler, is going to just be in a delightful mood. Now, granted, it's still in retrograde, so rose-colored glasses are still off. You're basing everything on actual reality. But we're talking about, this is a mystical and magical moon. This is about opening yourself up to sensuality. This is about restoring intimacy in your life on a level that gets you stirring in realms that you haven't been stirred before. This is about falling in love and just removing delusion from your life and basing everything on the reality of your current situation. Guys, this is a gorgeous and beautiful, beautiful month. There are many things to be thankful for. There is going to be a lot of change coming your way. It is going to be all about manifesting the next levels of your life and ascension. It's going to be about moving forward in powerful, powerful ways. We're going to not really understand what this whole year was about until about December. There's so much energy forcing you to look back in the past and learn and evaluate and grow from your past. We are going to be having a lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse, and we're going to have some more retrograde energy with Mercury and Venus. And so, you guys, we're just looking at a bunch of energy that's tweaking us from our past to our present and moving us into the future. Also, in about November, we have our nodes changing, and our node is going to change into Virgo, and then we have Jupiter in Virgo, and they're going to be conjunct. So this is a mystical time. I can't explain what I see. I tried to explain a little bit in the Virgo forecast, because it's just too much to go into and give you all of your monthly stuff, but we'll go over it when those months start coming up. Anyhow, I'm going to run through the energies real quick so that you just know. The Sun, Venus, and Mars are all in your 6th. We have Jupiter, that is in your 7th house. We have Saturn in your 9th. We have the new moon in your 6th, and we have the full moon in your 1st. And just, you guys, just really, really enjoy this month. It's a magical time. If you made some decisions and it is progressive energy, this month is going to plug you back in. It's going to make you feel restored. It's going to make you feel better. July was a karmic month. It was a month to revisit some pretty deep lessons that we had back in 2012 and 2014. Thankfully, we're done with that transit. We don't have to ever see it again for another 30 years. We won't ever revisit those issues. I look forward to talking to you guys again next month, and check out my dailies if you have time.